Hi there, my name is Kendrick and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience going to my country number 99 to visit every single country in the world, and that country is Timor Leste. My adventure to Timor Leste actually started in Indonesia because there's only a few limited ways to go to Timor Leste, and one of the most common way for people to get here is by going to Bali first. I had just finished my trip to Japan, my country number 98, and I flew from Tokyo to Jakarta, and I stayed there overnight before continuing in the next day to my flight going to Bali, followed by going all the way to Dili, the capital city of Timor Leste. Upon arrival, it took forever to get through immigration for some weird reason, and even after getting through, it was still a challenging process because I didn't know that you needed to fill out an online customs form, and the only way to do that is either through your phone or through a computer. Luckily, they had a computer outside the immigration, and you can fill it up online after you get through immigration, take a picture of the QR code, and go through a smaller security area where you have to put your bags through this x-ray, and then a man will then check your QR code before you can proceed to the land side of the airport. Upon leaving the airport, the first thing I did was purchase a SIM card. It cost me $10 because they use US dollars in Timor-Leste. As a matter of fact, when you enter the country, you do have to buy a visa on arrival, which again will cost you US dollars. After getting my SIM card, I then took a taxi to my accommodation. It cost me $10 for the taxi ride going from the airport to my accommodation, which is called Dive Timor-Leste. However, when I was directing the taxi driver about this location, I would have to tell them that it's Castaways because this location also has a bar and restaurant on top of it, and most locals know this location for that name. During my first day in Timor-Leste, the first thing I did was go ahead and I made a booking to join a whale watching tour. Apparently, you can see the blue whale or sperm whale around October and November in this area, and apparently you can even swim with them if you're a strong swimmer. After paying for my accommodation, the first half I had to send through global wire transfer, and the second half I paid in cash. They also asked me for a deposit for the whale watching, which cost $200 US for the full amount, and they asked me for $100 at the time of making the booking, and also $100 the day off the whale watching tour. They also got me fitted for a wetsuit, but turns out later on when I got the chance to speak with the manager, she said that I shouldn't snorkel because I need to be a very experienced swimmer to do it, and the water is extremely deep, and she did not recommend someone that is more on a beginner side when it comes to snorkeling to go ahead do it. She said that I should just stay on the boat and I should still be able to see the whale. So I went ahead and still completed the booking, followed by eating in the restaurant. I did meet this American guy that I befriended, and I ate peri-peri chicken, which was really good. It had rice and salad before calling it a day at the studio that I stayed at for this accommodation. I originally wanted to book the guest house, however they were full, so unfortunately for me, I had to book the more expensive studio, which cost me $85 US per night. After dropping off all my stuff, I decided, hey, you know what, instead of just relaxing here, why don't I go check out the Cristo Rei statue, which is the big Jesus statue here in the island. So I ended up finding a driver that the front desk recommended, and it cost me $10 US to get me to the base of the Jesus statue, and the guy waited for me while I went up there. It took me about 30 minutes up and down, and then headed back to our accommodation. I also got a chance to talk to the driver, who may have potentially scammed me because the front desk originally quoted me $5 towards the Jesus statue and $5 back, but he ended up charging me $10 there and back, and his reason was because it's a holiday. I think that he might be lying, but it's okay because he did wait for me for half an hour underneath the Jesus statue, so I think that's kind of okay. Another thing that he told me that was quite interesting was that a lot of locals, what they do is they work for 2 or 3 months, make some good money, and then they go to Bali where their money goes a long way because it's so cheap in Bali compared to Timor-Leste. So I thought it was a really interesting thing about the locals. The next day, it was time to go to the whale watching tour, and the manager gave me some gavel to take so that I won't get seasickness. And unfortunately, at the start of the trip, I was feeling queasy, but it went away as soon as we got to the boat. They gave us some breakfast, which is just some sandwiches to eat. Unfortunately for us, the tour did not yield any whale. We looked for over 4 hours and not a single whale was sighted, so it was just pure bad luck. Apparently, the last 3 days, they were able to spot the sperm whale, but unfortunately, we did not see any either sperm whale or blue whale, which comes through this channel at this time of the year. The only thing we saw was the dolphins, which was neat, but as you know, we wanted to see the whale. So unfortunately, when you do some kind of animal safari, whether that be on land or water, it's always a gamble. I was feeling a little bit bummed out because I did pay $200 US for this trip, but what can you do? You win some, you lose some. I ended up eating some prawn laksa for lunch, which was really yummy, and got a chance to chat with some of the people that was on tour. And later on in the day, I got a chance to eat dinner, and the next day headed for the airport to end my trip in Timor-Leste. I would say Timor-Leste is a pretty cool destination if you like diving and snorkeling. There's not much to do on land, so it's purely water-based activities that you would be doing if you decide to go here. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.